What's up everyone, it's ACESAMA, and today we're here to talk about Tenko Chabishira, the Ultimate Aikido Master. And now this is finally the first video of this little series I'm doing with all the Danganronpa V3 characters, where I have a opinion on a character where most people don't agree with. I'm not the biggest fan of Tenko. I'm gonna just be straight up honest, don't really like her character. Now, I will explain why I don't truly like her character at the very end, but to go to her backstory, it starts when she's very, very young, and with her as a child, she was very hyper, and she also had a lot of anger management issues. And so her parents seeing this was like, okay, Tenko, we're going to send you to this temple, there's an Aikido master, and we're going to have you go there so he can help you try to calm down and not be so angry or be so hyper. And so that's where she went to begin her training, and obviously this is where she becomes an Aikido master. But the thing is that I actually did a little bit of research on Aikido. With Aikido, you have to have a calm spirit to truly be strong in the ways of Aikido and the martial arts training that they do over there. However, what the actual master did was he made a whole new fighting style that could take a lot of her anger and be able to utilize that in the techniques that they would use, as well as find a way for her to channel that anger and to also have all that energy go somewhere instead of being like crazy or like going around and doing a lot of the things that she was doing before. And so Neo Aikido is something that was kind of made just for her, which I do like. It's actually one of the few things I do like about her. And after she, trains and becomes a Neo Aikido master, they go around the city and they help people, whether that's like helping a grandma across the street, or helping someone get their purse or their bag back, helping them with groceries, whatever the case may be. They work together to go and help people. Now, this is where we get to obviously why she has a big problem with men, or just guys in general. Because usually when a guy says something that she doesn't really agree with, she usually just calls him a degenerate male, and for me, it's very annoying. But the reason why this all started is because her master told her, don't get into any relationships, especially with men, because it will weaken your abilities with Neo Aikido. And I had to do a little bit of research. I don't know if that's actually a thing. It could be a thing in actual Aikido, where they try to tell people don't be in a relationship because it will weaken you. I don't see anything that says that. It could be, and if you guys do find it, let me know. I'm actually kind of interested. But this is kind of why she also didn't want to do it, on top of the fact that she's already seen how some men act and how they can actually be degenerates, or how they can try to assault people, whether that's sexually or just physically. And for her experiences, she doesn't actually see a lot of men that are actually like good or like gentlemen, kind of like Gonta. Now, this is one of the main reasons why I don't like her, though, is because she's kind of taking the whole thing of men and just kind of generalizing it. And I understand it's from her experience, and obviously her master had a huge part in that, but even with that said, it's still really fucking annoying. Like, I'm sorry, like every other word that comes out of her mouth, it's not even like something that's like related to the topic. Someone will say something and then she'll just come out and say degenerate male. And again, it'll be one thing if it happens with a character that was kind of like that, right? So like, if for example, right, if you had a pervy character and then you had Tenko, cool, that's a little like neat back and forth that those two characters have. I wouldn't really care about that, right? Like, for example, like if you got like you got Sanji from One Piece, where he's like, oh, Nami Swan, then that would be okay, because I can kind of get it, right? She's kind of getting on the pervy person. But then she'll get on everyone, especially like people that have nothing, like they don't do anything wrong. Like, I feel like I think I remember her saying it to like Gonta of all characters. She's definitely said it to Shuichi, and it's like, when it's so like over the top, or it's just so frequent, it gets really, really annoying with her character. And that's like one of the big things, on top of the fact that you would think that when she meets other guys that aren't like that, like Gonta or anything else, you would see a subtle change. And in her little, character arc with Shuichi, when you have to go and talk and hang out with her, you do see that she's, kind of nicer to Shuichi, and she gets to learn to be kind of around him, not automatically call him degenerate male. But obviously, that also doesn't really matter towards the story, because immediately right after you're like done talking to her or hanging out with her, you go to like the next like big moment in the actual story, and then she starts calling people degenerate males. So it'd be, what I would have wished that they did is that you see her act that way, but over the course of her being there, or when she was alive, she starts to like actually warm up to some of the men. Not all of them, right? Maybe you say, oh, Kokichi she doesn't like, or anything like that. But like for everyone else, she starts to be like, okay, they're not necessarily degenerate males. Maybe I was kind of wrong on this, right? And you can see a bit of character growth. You don't get that, and so she's just really annoying with that. That's my like biggest gripe with her. And there's nothing really that's like interesting about her as a character, and that's really annoying for me. So I don't hate her the most. There's definitely worse characters than her. I want to point that out, but it is something that definitely bothers me. Now, one thing that we do know is that she has a very close relationship with a lot of the girls, specifically with Himiko. Himiko is her like really close best friend. She's always seen with Himiko. She's trying to protect Himiko from the degenerate males, and she always tries to hang out with Himiko. And now with Himiko, Himiko always like tries to brush her off and doesn't really care about the friendship, but you truly do see that Tenko Athlete does care for Himiko, and she tries to do things in her best interest. But then there are some times where I also look at it and she's kind of getting annoyed. Now, obviously, we see later on that when she dies, that Himiko truly did care for Tenko, and that she, like, that was like one of her only friends. That was one of the first friends she had, and she wasn't like really used to that. And I'll definitely get into that in Himiko's video when eventually we get to her, because she's actually a pretty cool character. It is kind of sad that like Himiko never like really warmed up to Tenko and just everything that she was trying to do. But you do see her trying to be a nice friend, not only to her, but even some of the other girls. And like, actually, one of my favorite moments of Tenko is that when she tries to go and fight Monokuma, I think it was with Gonta and with Kaito. It was when Kaede was about to be taken, and they go and they like get lined up, and they're like, okay guys, like we're gonna fight, we're gonna try to protect Kaede, we're not gonna let them hurt her. And that's when like she tells them, stop, hey, let this happen, I know what I did, and I'm resigned to my fate. Don't worry about this. I'm okay, guys. But it was, I think, a really cool moment that she also like stood up for them, and she was with the other guys. But again, even in that like scene, you see two other guys working with you. Again, like the degenerate male like is really annoying, because there's so many moments with characters, even in the main storyline, where you see them doing like noble things, and it doesn't go anything or anywhere with her character. And so then we get to the second trial, and obviously this is with Ryoma and everything. But you also see that I think this is also one of the moments where she also does try to stand up for Kirumi, or she even just feels bad because Kirumi is going to die. But there wasn't really too much with her in the second chapter. I think she was there helping with the magical act with Himiko. I definitely think she was one of the few characters that was actually trying to defend Himiko, because obviously she's a close friend. So that's basically it with her. She didn't really have anything big there. And then we get to the third chapter, which everyone knows what happened. She ends up dying. This is where you have Korekiyo, and he's setting up his little ritual act, because he's trying to make this ruse of, oh, I'm going to revive someone. And so obviously he goes Angie here, because Angie kind of stumbled upon what he was doing, but Angie was kind of being an idiot. And then Tenko is the one who actually goes in to do the actual ritual, and this is mainly because she's a really good friend. Like, he thought that she was the perfect one, and it makes sense. Like I feel like for all the females, she would probably be one of the best friends, right? And I definitely see that with her and with some of the other girls, where she's actually very nice to them. She's very loyal. She's very protective. She's always there to try to help them. And so he probably was like, oh yeah, like she would be the perfect friend. Like she always wants to keep them away from guys. And obviously, like, he had a incest relationship with her sister, or with his sister. And so it also kind of makes sense as like, hey, keep guys away and all that. Be protective of her, be a good friend, be loyal. Yeah, that makes sense. And obviously, that's when she dies, and then you see Himiko, she's crying, she gets really sad. But then obviously that is basically it with her, just overall in the entire story. Again, not the biggest fan of her character. Overall, solid character, don't hate her. But she's also kind of fucking annoying. And so for me, I'm not really the biggest on her character. If she was to come back, would that be really nice? Yeah, I would actually like to see her afterwards. Like, maybe if she did come back, you know, because this was technically supposed to be a TV show, then maybe she would, at the comeback, maybe be friends with Himiko, or maybe she could have like this character growth. Do you really think there's gonna be another Danganronpa game? No, because as I'm making this video, you guys probably already know I'm playing Raincode, and Raincode is obviously like the next big game that the developers for Danganronpa are really working on, and it's really good. I'm loving the game so far, and so don't really see them bringing all of these characters back. It's a possibility, you know, never say never. Someone like Justin Bieber right now, but obviously don't really know about that. So let me know what you guys think about Tenko Chabishira. Do you guys like her character? If so, let me know, because I know there's a lot of people in the community who truly does like her character, and I'm just part of the minority who doesn't really like her character. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.